Yeah, I'm gonna go check out the taxi options. Figure that out. Let's see here. Okay. Gonna go check the taxi first. I have an ant on my face. I ducked outside to check on all the chickens and ducks. I don't know how many ducklings have hatched. I'm gonna have to go actually move Cappuccino and see at some point. Let me go to Pinnacle because I need to see. I just need to see. First and foremost, I need to see what's on the broker over here, just to see what I can even just buy from the broker, and then I have to see if I can even get to Harco from here, or if I have to wait till I go to Anvil. That ability is pretty awesome, although those chests take forever to frickin' spawn. It's way too expensive for this early game. Yeah, way too expensive, Transcend. I only have like 2,800 credits in the bank. But I'm genuinely curious because I put that self-imposed limitation on not wanting to use any of the refinement stations. Um, and if that's the case, I gotta think of a creative solution. I think I might just have to ignore the journey quests. Because the journey quests want me to do specific things. The problem is I can't ignore the journey quest if I want to get to the main quest, if that makes sense. Because I don't think it won't let you do... I won't be able to start the Find the Fremen quest with this character unless I complete the journey quest. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking that my self-imposed limitation may have to have a little bit of leeway of, okay, I can do everything that's in, like, I might have to just say, okay, everything outside of the journey system, that's the limitation. Because I'm thinking ahead, I'm thinking, like, I'm not going to be able to complete the journey.
You look a little lost, friend. Music to my ears. Where do you want a trade?
Oh, you could definitely go from here.
Look, I can get you there,
but it
but
costs
I want a
2,500
little.
Solari.
All right, suit yourself.
So I can get to Harco from here, but it's 2,500, which is outside of my current. By the way, I can deliver this while I'm here. Deliver fibers. I need fiber 3, EMF 3. I have those back at the base. Okay, I honestly... I gotta think about this more. If I want to do this like a true action RPG, then I can't... I'm not supposed to have a refiner. Like, the fabricator I could understand. Like, I don't know. The initial idea behind this was no base building. And then I put the self-imposed limitation of no refiners on top of that. I think I may have been a little naive to think about it that way because I don't think I'm going to be able to complete the journey quests without without refining ore. I just don't see it happening. Because there's no way for me to get... The only other way would be to purchase ingots or try to scavenge other players' bases. The idea of scavenging other places' bases is a little ridiculous because that is predicated upon running around hoping that I find someone's base that they have forgotten about and raiding that base, which just feels really naive to think that that's actually going to be the case. Like, maybe that's the case? I'm thinking I may have to relax that self-imposed limitation on the refinement thing until I get out of the Haga Basin. I don't know. I need to think about this more, but I just don't see a way. Yeah, correct. It's a self-imposed limitation for roleplay purposes. I'm trying to prove a point. Which is that you can play this game as purely a action RPG without needing to necessarily maintain a big-ass base or build a big-ass base like I built. And then I put a self-imposed limitation that said, oh, well then I'll build the first base because that's part of the journey, but then I won't use a refiner or anything like that. Like I'll only, but it's like, I don't know that I can actually do that, man. Because all of the early journey stuff, you guys can't see it because I have that image. I keep pointing up to the top. All of the early journey stuff, the purple quests, are all related to you using the refiners. Like, to build a bike, you're going to need to make copper ingots. To build the scavenger gear, I got to have copper ingots. To build the weapons, I got to have copper ingots. And the only way to do that would be to buy the copper ingots off of other players. The only way to buy them off of other players is to get them from the cities. And I have zero access to, like, running around Haga Basin trying to find other players' bases that they have abandoned seems a little ridiculous. I'm trying to think if there's any creative way to get my hands on copper ingots. Or do I just relax that that rule and say, you know what? Whatever I got to do to get through the tutorial of Haga Basin, because technically the entirety of Haga Basin is the tutorial system. I've ran past like 6 or 8 bases though, and I haven't seen any that have been abandoned. I think for the purposes of the journey, because it's part of the quest, I'm going to say I'm not restricted by it. I'm going to say that self-imposed restriction was naive. I'm going to say that if the quest requires it, I'm allowed to do it. That's what I'm going to do right there. If the quest requires it, I'm allowed to do it. Because otherwise, I'm not going to be able to complete the quests. And there's no feasible way for me to get to the city this early on in the game. So there you have it. Fuck it. There we go. I'm refining copper. Problem solved, guys. So if the quest requires it, we're allowed to do it. Outside of that, no base building. Because I did say at the very beginning, the only gear that I'm allowed to get my hands on is gear that I've crafted, found, or purchased. So technically, that means I'm allowed to craft. Dude, I'm going to get sunstroke. I'm allowed to craft. I just don't want to have to build lots of things. Because that breaks the sort of the rules of the... We're not talking about raiding bases. When people abandon a base, you can access it as another player, and you can take whatever's there. You can break it down, refine it, you can do many things to it. But only if it's been abandoned. And many people don't move their base from Haga Basin to West Vermilion. They just abandon their base and leave it behind. So the idea is that theoretically you could run around and check every single base in the Haga Basin, and you might be able to find someone who has abandoned a base. And then you can take all the components, break them down, and get your ingots that way. Which is different than raiding a base. Blackthorn, I think he's doing that tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow night, packing everything up and bringing it back. So Tuesday morning, I will be starting to build the T6 fabrications. So if that's the case, I no longer feel guilty about doing this right here. That gives me my leader, John. Okay. Okay. Full set of scavenger. And a Karpov 38. Oh, snap, Blackthorn. That's more than... Well, okay, that's good. That's great, Blackthorn. That means I'll have enough to make... Right out of the gate, I can make the T6 Advanced Vehicle Fabricator, the Advanced Survival, and then I could turn around and make the big storage chests and replace the duraluminum storage chests we have there, which allows for even more. And that might be enough. Um, I know I have that'll definitely be enough plastinium and melange to make, maybe even. I know for sure it's enough to make the advanced vehicle and the advanced survival, and then that might be enough to also do like the weapons. Well, the limitation is still gonna be complex machinery and stuff, so we just have to wait and see. Just Marius, I'm not gonna know if I'm not trying to be rude by saying this. I already covered this earlier in the stream. There will be a YouTube video coming out later today that has all the information about what this playthrough is, what this Harkonnen alt is, and what the limitations on this character are. It is a roleplay character with some specific limitations. No, you're good. But I know you've asked like 4 or 5 questions in a row, and I've literally already answered those like about 2.5 hours ago. So you're all good. It'll come out later on YouTube today. Probably today. I'll probably cut the episodes out today or tomorrow, something like that. All right, I did create the full set of scavenger rags. I think I have to actually grab them.
I've crossed the Vermilius Gap, Off-Worlder, and I still haven't shaken my unwanted followers. I'm afraid I must delay our reunion until... well, I fear drastic measures might be required.
Okay.
But fear not, Off-Worlder. You've come this far alone. I'm impressed. You're a long way from that mewling mauler I dragged from the wreckage of the Proteus. Listen, you'll need a vehicle to cross the sands to the Paranorth and reach the gap. But vehicles require components that aren't created here on Arrakis. Arrakis has a long history, Off-Worlder. More than you might imagine. Some things, like the Imperial testing stations, contain echoes of the past. But more importantly, they contain stockpiles of components you'll need. Just be careful. Those old ruins are a beacon for all kinds of scum.
Okay. All right. So we have created our weapon. I do need to make some more ammo. So where did I stash my scavenged metal? Actually, you know what? Come here, chest. Let's make a boatload of ammo. And we can head to Imperial Testing Station number 2, which is just north of here. And do that quest. I can get rid of that. Hold on to that because I'm going to sell it. And I now have a rifle. Perfect. Alright, now we are also ready to start working on the trooper. So that's going to be my main... So maybe I do the trooper stuff before I do testing station. I would rather do that. Let's do the trooper stuff first so I can get the trooper unlocked. So screw your story. Bounty. Trooper basics. Abandon that. We're not going there yet. All right, we got a ways to go to get over here. One more thing before we go. Am I allowed to make yet? Because I didn't see one for sale. I didn't actually check to see if he had one for sale. Can I make it as part of the research stuff? No. I don't know that you get dew harvesters yet. I don't think the Anvil Station guy sells a dew harvester. Or excuse me, Griffin's. But I do need a dew harvester because that's going to be my primary means of collecting water. Because I'm not using any refiners or anything like that. I also have to worry about the Sardaukar. Man, I got 2 Sardaukar ships I gotta worry about. Anything in the chests yet? Nope. But I can grab some more dew. Off we go. Still suit only, no scavenger gear. Got to do these bounties. And then I'll unlock the trooper. And then I'll respec the character for a trooper build. Because it's going to be guns and grenades as a primary. Excuse me. Sandworm! I will definitely take any and all chests I come across since this character is primarily operating as a scavenger. Getting really close. Nice, Blackthorn. Nice. Yeah, I think I only did like 5 spice blows this week. I did 2 in the deep desert and like 3 or 4 in the Haga Basin. Yeah, I think spice is going to be the pressure point. Not that it's holding us up per se, but I think that's going to be the hardest challenge is going to be to where do I find the where am I going to find, where are we, I should say, where are we going to find large quantities of spice without going PvP? This will be fun. Oh, that was the boss. Nice. All right, where's the next one? A little bit further out. All right, off we go. JK's like, and I abandoned a base in the basin, or in by blowing it up. An accidental abandonment. That's true. I've got like 500k saved up, so I'm just stockpiling money at the moment with my main. So if it gets to that point and we really need it for like generators and stuff, then we could just buy it. Not even off the market. I think when I checked the market the other day, it was like 1500 on the market, but we could buy it from the vendor from like 1200.
Sandstorm is approaching.
So I think we could probably just buy it straight from the vendor at a better price than what the market is selling it for, theoretically. I don't know, something like that. I haven't actually looked. Somebody was yelling the math at me the other day. But 2k for one melange is not that bad, to be honest with you. Shit. There's traps everywhere.
Sector weather alert. A large sandstorm is approaching.
I'm just gonna hide here while we wait for the sandstorm. That's what I thought. I thought I could buy a Dew Reaper at Anvil, so I'm just gonna hold my credits till I get to Anvil because I have no. I should be fine. I should be fine. Yeah, we should be okay. Correct, Blackthorn. That is the downside to just buying it outright, is no melange. Which we do need for the power supplies for the... We're getting there, though.
Sector weather alert. A large sandstorm is approaching.
I will say, though, just with the basic still suit, by only surviving off of dew points so far, I am slowly creeping up my catch pocket. Private servers should not go anywhere if you have maintained your payments. So if there is a bug with your friend's private server disappearing, they need to contact the customer support for their third-party service provider and say, yo, because those people should have copies of everything. those third-party providers will have customer support staff that could be like, "Oh, something happened. We have that backed up in the cloud. We'll take care of you." So if they are having an issue where their private server has disappeared, then they need to contact that customer support because Funcom
Sector
can't do
weather
anything
alert.
about it.
A large sandstorm is approaching.
2900 Solari? Oh, I got that covered. Kitwin, thank you. So as soon as I get to Anvil, I'll go buy that. Yeah, that's a customer support issue. I think we're completely sheltered in here. No, there is no build all function. You place a blueprint, you have to manually build each individual component. That inspires people to work together as part of the multiplayer aspects of the game where they want multiple players working together to help build the items as quickly as possible in the deep desert. Otherwise, you do it on your own. Thanks for the gifted subs over on Twitch, Hecate, sorry. If I can learn how to pronounce names. Appreciate the support. Thanks so much to that. Oh, you gifted a whole bunch. You gifted like 10 subs. Damn! Thank you very much. Alright, the boss is still in here somewhere. Gotta be careful, because I just used my... Alright. Alright, that's that guy down. And now we go report back to the Reach, which is all the way back there. I did a long ass run. We're gonna take it slow. Ha ha ha! Alright. Oh, how I wish the auto run was in the game. It is still not, but it would be nice if it was.
Someone's here.
Hi there. Hello there. And now we run across the sand and we try not to die to the worm. Dun, 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 dun. We run in the shade cause we're not idiots and we don't wanna burn. Dun, dun, dun. Ah! I hear the worm